Hey guys, it's Skymer here, and welcome back to another episode of Triangle Strategy. In the last episode, we did a lot more story-based things, and a lot of the ministers and leaders and lords of other houses were coming in attendance for this big upcoming celebration, for this tournament battle that's going to be proceeding, as well as Lord Dragan's, or Prince Dragan, I don't really remember his title, to be honest. But Dragan has developed this explosive substance that is going to eradicate these walls in the mines, that is going to be able to mine out like these very specific ores that is going to be beneficial for all the different regions. However, in this episode, we are going to be starting our first exploration phase, and this is going to be a really interesting part of the game. For example, with these little sparkles on the ground, just examine them, and you will typically get some fun little items and stuff like that. Very good for preparation for the upcoming battles. And we can break into people's houses, because that's just something that, you know, lords in their first days are able to do, right? We're Lord Serenoa now, okay? We're the official Lord Serenoa. We can just break into people's homes, you know, say hello to them.
I heard tell Prince Roland is shirking his duties at the castle once again. Thank heavens that shiftless child isn't in line for the crown.
Okay, well that was a little harsh, because we all know well and good that Roland does what he wants to do, and that's what you should do in life. You gotta do what makes you happy. Who really gives a shit about your frickin' royal family line? Especially if you're not even in line for the throne. Just live like this free spirit that you are.
I've been tasked with attending you at the ceremony tomorrow, my lord. May it be a joyous occasion for all. I'm eager to hear your speech, and even more eager to see you triumph at the tourney.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Triumph. Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, I have a story about this upcoming chapter. I sense you may have some questions regarding this joint mining venture. Allow me to enlighten you. Combining the expertise and manpower of Norzelia's 3 nations, this mine will unearth the newly discovered vein of iron. We hope that this will prove beneficial for all parties, providing wealth and prosperity in equal measure. It is said Lord Dragan's— There he is! That's his title! It was Lord Dragan. See, I'm not that stupid. It is said Lord Dragan's knowledge of ironworking is peerless. I could think of none more suited to oversee the mine's development. Why does everybody have to be smart and then I'm playing this game? Excuse me.
To see the peace we enjoy now, one would never think that but 30 years ago our realm was engulfed in war. The Salt Iron War seems not but a far-off nightmare now.
Oh, well, we all know these games. They always have their times of peace until some hell gets brought down. Okay, so this very unique sparkle over here, it's a blue sparkle instead of like that golden yellowy one. For this, we get the Marvels of Norzelia Volume 8. Notes. You will find notes as the game progresses. These notes have no direct effect on the story, but they will help you better understand Norzelia and its history. View the notes that you've collected at any time by selecting War Chronicle and then Notes from the main menu. So let's just do that right now. Whenever we come across something new, we're just gonna do it. So War Chronicle, Notes. Okay, so this is really interesting. If you want to skip these, feel free. Up the Norzelia River and past a handful of craggy mountains lies the Esfrosti capital. Despite the blizzards oft swirling about it, the city itself is orderly and well-maintained, and the people who dwell there spirited and undaunted. By working together, they have managed to thrive in one of the most inhospitable places in the realm. It is this fortitude that has allowed Esfrost to grow into a nation to be reckoned with. I can also imagine it to be very hard to battle in their territory, considering how frickin' snowy and icy it is there. Esfrost's ironstone was carved out of a rocky mountainside, which is unusual but fitting for a land with countless iron mines within its borders. It functions as both a castle and an iron factory. Skilled artisans in the Grand Duchy are brought to the castle, where they mass-produce ironworks and engage in technological research. Thanks to an enormous forge as large and as hot as the mouth of a volcano within the castle, they are able to create huge quantities of ironware and weapons on a daily basis for Esfrost's pride and joy, the Black Irons. Upon the castle's ramparts is arguably the crowning achievement of Esfrosti ironworking, a gigantic bell, larger than the largest dragon. I cannot even begin to fathom how they managed to create such a beast. Each day, the bell tolls the time for the people of the capital. It is so loud, it can be heard all throughout the mountains, and has even been known to trigger avalanches on distant slopes. Now that, good sir, is a bell. I mean, I'm thinking that it's just that giant picture, or not picture, that giant face just carved into the top of the castle there. Is that the bell? Or is that just some sort of, icon or something? I have no idea. If that's the bell, I don't know if I ever want to ring it personally.
Greetings, my lord. My friends and I are playing hide and seek.
That is so cute. I used to play hide and seek with my friends when I was really, really young, but I wound up just getting super salty all the time because they kept finding me. Little did I know that I just found shitty hiding places that weren't actually considered to be hiding places.
By your request, Benedict and I shall take part in the tournament. May we bring victory to House Wolfort.
That's right, because we have you on our side. Is this the house? Is this the house with the best character in this game? There it is. There it is, everybody. Listen and be entranced. It has spoken. Anybody who knows me even half decently well knows that I am absolutely in love with cats. I love cats so much, they are amazing. Also, speaking of amazing,
there is no rest for a young lordling. All eyes will be upon you in the coming days. Frederica and I shall make every effort to learn the lay of the land, so that we might share the weight of your duties.
I love Gila. Alright, and there is like a secret back here. It's just one that I almost passed up on the demo playthrough.
My husband works from dawn till dusk at the port, lifting crates and who knows what else. It's honest work, though, and the backbone of our livelihoods besides.
So these green exclamation marks, by the way, I don't think the game really explained much of this. Basically, any character with a green exclamation mark above their head means that there's going to be some sort of conviction choice. Just like we've seen with Travis and Trish. But they're just kind of this mode's particular version of that.
There's been nothing to miss, my lord. Another quiet day.
Good. So proud of that. See how long that lasts.
The most esteemed personages from each nation will be attending the ceremony, I hear. A veritable melting pot of politics. Such an opportunity to meet and speak with your peers must not be wasted, my lord.
Socializing? No thanks. I'm good. If I was in Sereno's place, I'd be like, bruh, I don't want to talk to people. Ew, gross, no. Oh, there is something here. Another HP recovery pellet. Is this like the fourth one that we've come across? Like, it's as if they're preparing us for the inevitable next chapter.
I still can't believe Travis and his feral spawn attacked your dear bride-to-be like that. I'm just glad we got there before any real harm could be done, my lord.
You weren't even there! Excuse me? You were not even present, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, we arrived in time. Where were you then? Dang it.
A lot of folk have come to town for the ceremony. I even saw a man earlier wandering about in wide-eyed wonder.
I have a friend who does like a really good Scottish accent. Please rate it if you're watching this. Please rate it. I know it probably sucked, but rate it. Or anybody can rate it, I don't care. Tell me it was crap, tell me it was great, tell me it was something. I can scarce remember the last time Glenbrook was host to such a marvelous tourney. Who among the nations will win glory? which will be known as the fiercest in all Norzelia. I mean to be there when history is made. Okay, and this right here is actually Lord Dragan, so this is gonna be our first time actually talking to him. This town is prosperous, and its people have faith in their lord. An impressive achievement by my experience.
You're too kind, Lord Dragan.
Ah, my apologies, but you are... And here he is, the overseer of the Grand Norzelian Mines, Dragan S. Frost. After his father, Svarog, was all but relegated to life on the Isfrosti Outlands, he dedicated himself to his studies at the archives in hopes of restoring his family's honor. He is a young genius who discovered how to make explosives.
The apology should be mine. I'm Serenoa Wolfwort. I've come to remind you to return to the castle before the banquet begins. Certain parties were quite insistent.
Of course.
I appreciate the consideration. I would like to explore the town a while longer, but rest assured I shall be punctual in my arrival.
He seems like a good guy. He seems like a good dude. Did I walk in this house, by the way? I think I might have just completely avoided it. Did I? Oh, no, I didn't, because there was something in here. Money! I stole money. Oh, that's great. I'm already showing off the best of my, Lord Serenoa qualities, okay? Is this, like, gonna be his first rule? Like, stealing's okay.
I must make ready for the wedding ceremony. What gift would best suit the union of you and Lady Frederica? It's an impossible choice. Perhaps an audience with Lord Simon will spark inspiration.
Well, that's a pretty good house lord if he's just willing to meet with just anybody. That's pretty awesome. And by the way, just for the future, when any exploration occurs, I will always be saving the choices with these green exclamation marks for last. Did you just jump? Oh, okay. Yeah, just climb over the entire wall and the fence. Go right ahead there, Serenoa. Go right the frick ahead.
We're playing hide and seek till Dad comes home. I need to find a place to hide in quick.
Take care not to hurt yourself. Your father wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. Ah, one of my favorite games. Barrels were always my favorite places to hide. It takes a clever mind to hide. Perhaps you can use that cleverness to help your father when you're older. This seems both very nice and very... just a little bit... I don't know. It seems a little shady. You know, like he's just talking to her, like, almost like as if he's belittling her a little bit. Like, use that cleverness to help your father when you're older, because apparently you don't have it even now. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the first choice. Take care not to hurt yourself. We don't want our children of the future, to be, injured.
I will. Dad got awful mad when I climbed up on the rooftops. Awful mad.
That anger comes from a place of concern. I'm not saying you shouldn't hide, but promise you'll keep your safety in mind?
Aye. A promise with my lord is as good as gold. Dad will be glad to hear it.
Alright, let's go talk to our bride-to-be.
It's just like him to gallivant off with nary a word of farewell. Still, I suppose this is a chance to become acquainted with my future home. How would you describe your town, Serenoa?
To know a town, you must take time to relish her company. That's what Eridor told me in perhaps more colorful words. It's the port at the center of commerce, a town built on taxes, but not at the expense of fair trade. Wolfwort is nestled safely behind the castle walls. It is a town at peace and sets an example for the rest of the kingdom. Huh. I don't know. What should I go with here? I'm kind of debating between these two. The only reason why I'm not going with this one is just because, I don't know. I mean, Frederica is new to this kingdom, you know, just to say, like, just open up to the people right away. Yeah, that's not something I would do personally, is just immediately be social with people. No thanks. So I think I'm gonna go with just saying that it's a peaceful place.
And the people are thankful to their lord for that, I am sure.
There are always threats to the peace, however, as your encounter with the bandits proved.
Of course. Simply ensuring the smallest amount of safety must be a daunting task in itself. You have given me much to consider.
Okay, well, I believe that I am all good on exploring this whole area, because I don't think I can get into this home at all, and I don't think that I can go down here, so... Okay, so I think we are all good to go. Let us make haste towards our next area. The banquet will begin soon. Lord Jagan and I had best not arrive late. At the banquet.
I thank you for your hospitality today, Lord Serenoa.
Think nothing of it. Did you enjoy the city, Lord Dragan?
Quite. Its people are full of life and love for their lord. That says all I need to know about House Wolfort.
You honor us with your words.
I am only being frank. Frederica is the sister of the Archduke, after all, and my cousin besides. I would not see her marry into an unworthy house. Suffice to say, my expectations were exceeded.
I have heard much of your ingenious contributions to the mining efforts. I sense prosperous days are ahead of us.
As do I. Finally, our nations enter into an age unfettered by war. With Esfrost's iron, Hyzant's salt, and Glenbrook's mediation, there is no limit to what we can achieve. We must regard each other as equals, and forge mutually beneficial relationships.
I sense skepticism in your words, Lord Dragan. Do you mean to imply our relations are not already mutually beneficial?
I need not imply anything. The salt tax you claim makes my case more than clear.
Bold words from one so young. Is that how peers speak to one another?
Perhaps the young ones, yes. What do you think, Lord Serenoa?
Dissatisfaction with the salt tax was one cause of the war, was it not?
Salt is a divine boon, a gift from the goddess to her true believers. This is the foundation of the teachings that guide us in Hyzant. By allying with Esfrost, do you mean to gainsay our most fundamental beliefs?
Of course not, Minister. We understand that the source is Norzelia's sole supply of salt. And we would not deny that it is the Holy State's right to harvest and tax it as you see fit.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Though it strikes me that your words are measured.
You needn't be so non-committal, Lord Serenoa. It is only reasonable that the three of us have differing opinions on the matter. However, that is all the more reason for us to be open to frank discussion.
Honored guests, pray forgive my son. We of House Wolfort are but simple warriors. I'm afraid matters of finance and politics do not come to us naturally. This, however, I can say. We will fight injustice and tyranny wheresoever it may be. Of course, we do not enjoy conflict. Still, we will not hesitate to defend our land and our people should the need arise. No matter how mighty the threat, we will fight for home and kingdom.
Yes, Lord Simone. Of that we are keenly aware.
I apologize if I spoke out of turn. But the fact remains that as every winter passes, the tension between our nations grows, and salt is the cause. The common folk have all but forgotten its taste. I simply want to ease their suffering.
The ministry I oversee is committed to the preservation of life. I personally believe that salt should not be a luxury reserved for the privileged few. All those who live require it, not just those lucky enough to be born within the borders of our holy state.
You agree with me, then?
How I feel matters little. In Hyzant, the word of the goddess, as conveyed to us from the lips of the Hierophant, is absolute. But perhaps this joint mining venture of yours may lead to the change you seek.
Indeed, we must set our gazes to the future. All of us. I expect you will be the ones to usher us into a new era.
Yes, Father.
Well, that was some drama, wasn't it? It was a little bit of drama. I love how the music just quieted down as soon as Lila started speaking, and I was just like, uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. The tides are turning. But I do think that Hyzant is kind of in a weird, precarious position. I mean, once again, the reason why Serenoa and Frederica were to be wed to each other was to strengthen the bond between the Glenbrook Kingdom and the Esfrost Kingdom. So there's no denying that Hyzant kind of felt forced to just join the alliance, which is why I feel like they're probably the shakiest part of this alliance, in my opinion. But then again, that still doesn't diminish the idea of Glenbrook and Esfrost having their own opinions and thoughts on the matter, as you could clearly tell from Jagan. Everybody's entitled to opinion, but it's in the delivery on how it can be reacted to from other people. It's not just the message, it's the delivery of the message. Alright, so we just seen another green exclamation mark here, so we're gonna go into another side story. The children of the crown speak of their father, King Regna. Let's go.
Father spoke not a single word to me today. Before long, I fear I might forget the sound of his voice.
Now we meet the youngest of Regna's children, Cordelia Glenbrook, the Princess of Glenbrook. I adore her. The third child and only daughter of King Regna, who brought the Salt Iron War to its end. She's a young princess with a graceful air about her and prefers her kind-hearted brother Roland over the high-strung Franny. She loves her brother Roland.
Please, sister, you weep and wail like a common girl. Show some composure. Father has a kingdom to rule, a kingdom engaged in a historic endeavor. He has more important duties than to pamper a spoiled child.
Yes, of course, brother.
You speak as if Father's duties include anything more than licking the boots of these dignitaries. It is inconceivable he cannot spare the time to break bread with his daughter.
You speak out of insolence and ignorance, Roland.
I speak only the truth. He leaves all the cumbersome tasks to the Wolforts and Minister Patria.
A king's word is to be obeyed.
And what of his subjects? Do they exist simply to bring him glory? To take the blame for his failures?
They are to serve as he sees fit.
The hell they are.
Believe as you wish. Speaking of his subjects, it appears lordship of House Wolfort will be passed down to young Serenoa.
What?
How fortunate for you to have a friend in the new lord. Best not take loyalty for granted, however. House Wolfort is obedient enough for now, but that can change as quickly as the wind. Use them well when you can, but be ready to bring down your fist if they dare to rise above their station.
Don't speak of them like lapdogs. They're not servants. They're my friends.
Do you really think to lead with such a soft heart? You are not fit to wear the royal signet.
Oh, stop this fighting at once. You frighten me.
Enough of this.
Where are you going, brother?
To train with Sir Maxwell. I would clear my head. There is a tourney on the morrow, after all.
Brother...
yield.
Your spear wavers, my prince. Something weighs on your mind.
You've always been able to see through me.
It's no great feat. Your heart lies ever on your sleeve.
Do I hear disapproval in your voice?
Not exactly, my prince. It can be a weakness, yes, but it can also be your strength. After all, sometimes a direct strike is most effective at piercing a formidable defense.
I will take those words to heart, Sir Maxwell. Thank you for today.
The pleasure was mine. I expect a good fight from you tomorrow. In the final match, no doubt.
I take the field with House Wolfort. Together, I have no doubt we can emerge triumphant.
Ah, that would explain your improvement. Young Serenoa is a worthy training partner. Even so, I have no doubt you've held your own against him. Tomorrow you shall show the realm what I already know. That you are a warrior worthy of your family's legacy.
Sir Maxwell, Sometimes I wish I wasn't a prince. Sometimes I wish I'd been born your son instead.
Surely you jest, Your Highness. Your father is a great king, and an even greater man. It is an honor to serve him as I do.
Apologies. I forget myself. I must have taken quite a blow. Anyhow, I suppose I should rest till the morrow. Be well, Sir Maxwell.
It cannot be easy being the youngest prince. To have others expect nothing from you, yet still shake their heads in disapproval. But you can rise above this, my prince. Seize your chance and lay everyone's doubts to rest once and for all.
Okay, I loved those scenes right there. I just want to say, Franny just burns more bridges of trust in me, with me, just every single time that he even speaks. Calling his younger sister a spoiled child just because she wants to have some alone time with him and just some father-daughter time, and she can't even get that. And at the same time, then, you know, Roland saying to Sir Maxwell that he wishes that he wasn't a prince, that he just could be someone less than that of the royal family and just, you know, just be a common citizen. And just Sir Maxwell's wisdom is something that I know inspires him, and it's just very heartwarming to see that he has somebody that he can talk to about these more personal issues, because he can't talk about them to anybody else. It's always nice to have someone at your beck and call, and I'm grateful myself that I have friends and family that are willing to do that for me, and I will do it all the same for others. An amazing group of scenes there. I just feel bad for Roland is all. Okay, so switching up our path here. I don't think there's anything going on in Hyzant. Nope. Nothing going on in Esfrost either. So let's move into the main story. The banquet ends without incident, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief. Dragan, however, has something on his mind. Uh-oh. The drama continues.
Now that's what I call a feast. You've landed quite the catch, Frederica. He is a good man. I can see it in his eyes.
You are too kind, Lord Dragan.
And humble as well. Are you impressed as I, Frederica?
I can tell that your heart is pure and gentle, my lord.
Lady Frederica.
Forgive me if I caused offense. I thought only to return your sincerity and kind.
No apologies are needed. I am happy to meet your approval.
Thank you, my lord.
Words come so easily to the both of you. A perfect match.
Forgive my curiosity. What sort of life did Lady Frederica lead in Esfrost?
Her life? Truth be told, my dear Serenoa, not a pleasant one. Those of Rosellan blood are looked down upon in Esfrost, even if they are the daughter of the Archduke's concubine. Gustadolf's full siblings are the worst of the lot. They have not a shred of human compassion between them. They cruelly bully the girl endlessly, regardless of time or place.
Is this...
True? Of course it is. I know Frederica's suffering all too well. My own father lived ever in the shadow of his elder brother, the former Archduke. Our house, too, is met with sneers by those who consider themselves our betters. But no more! I shall show all those simpering fops that it is not birth that makes greatness, but deeds. And so I did my due research at the archives, that my grand invention shall blast our way forward!
Dragan, please. I believe you've had enough to drink.
You can hardly blame me for availing myself of Glenbrook's finest libations, brought by traders from the realm over. Each cask more exotic than the last. Why, to not partake would be an affront to our newfound allies.
Just make sure your head is clear for tomorrow. Or have you forgotten you're meant to be representing your nation?
Yes, a ceremony to usher in a new age of harmony and prosperity. I am too young to have known the wars, so I see our three nations joining hands more as a matter of expedience. But what of you, my kin-to-be? How do you see our grand cooperative venture?
It is the first step towards true harmony among our three nations. I welcome it. It will benefit all nations involved. I see nothing wrong with that. This seems like the blind with a bat, blind as a bat response. I see nothing wrong. Everything will be fine. It's impossible to understand each nation's motivations. I can't say whether this bodes well. You know, if I know anything about my medieval RPGs, there's obviously nothing called an eternal peace, you know? And it is true. I mean, especially since Hyzan feels like they were forced to join the Alliance, you know, and Esfrost does not give a crap about the Rosellan people, which is awful, even though they talk about how, you know, they treat everybody equally. Yeah, right. So I think that each nation does have their own motives for this, and that somehow this idea of peace is different in everybody's eyes.
It is impossible to understand each nation's motivations. I can't say whether this bodes well.
Interesting. You are the first I've spoken to express such skepticism, and yet, you may see more clearly than most.
Like as not, it is a baseless worry.
It is a lord's place to worry. We may at last share a common goal, but our motivations differ. The future is murky, no matter how brightly some may try to paint it. My new cousin has the intuition of a leader, I see. Or perhaps you're simply a worrywart. In any event, it is always good to have another perspective on matters. Let me tell you what I believe. I believe we're on the cusp of a great achievement. As always, it is the young who must bear the burden of building the future. Old shoulders are frail, old minds stubborn. Whatever lies in our future, those who make it will mark their names in history. And mine will be written large for all to see! And I would write yours next to it, my dear cousin. Pray, come visit me at the mines once operations are underway, and I shall...
Dragan, are you quite all right?
Worry not, Frederica. I'm just a bit tipsy. Perhaps I should just lie.
It would seem Lord Dragan has turned in for the night.
Quite the passionate fellow, isn't he?
He's never been one to hide his ambition, ever since we were little. Neither does he hide his disapproval of my brother and Trueborn siblings.
Feelings which you share?
I grant it would be satisfying to see the sneers of those who look down on me wiped from their faces. But I also agree with Lord Simone that we must set our gazes to the future. Though I know not yet how I might best serve in this new age, I would do what I can.
We are of the same mind in that regard, my lady. Let us ease the weight of each other's burdens.
Please, call me Frederica. We are to be husband and wife after all.
Of course, my... Frederica. Pray call me Serenoa as well. We should carry your cousin to his chambers. Will you help me, Frederica?
Certainly, Serenoa. Let us take care not to wake him, lest he resume his prattle.
Benedict. I thought I might find you here.
My lord.
Did you tell her that Serenoa would soon be taking over as lord of our house?
Forgive me, my lord. I did not think to...
Save your apologies, Benedict. Doubtless she was overjoyed to hear it from you. Destra always did trust you above all her advisors. As do I. For 30 years, you have served my house better than I ever could have asked for.
You honor me, my lord.
My lord? I suspect this will be the last night I will hear those.
My lord, I will call for a healer at once.
Do not bother, Benedict. It will avail me not. You know as well as I how my heart now fails me.
My lord.
And so I entrust Serenoa to you. For our house, pray heed this old man's final order.
Certainly. I will live to serve your son until I breathe my last.
Did you hear that, Destra? Our boy is in good hands. My old dear friend, long have we stood together.
I will not let you down, my lord.
I'm thinking that Destra must have been his wife or something. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Could be a family member, relative. But I think it might have been Benedict's wife. But I'm not entirely certain. That was pretty funny, though, when Dragan just decided to fall flat on his back and just fall asleep.
It's kind of a mood, to be honest. We all have those moments where we just need something to drink because life is just too stressful for that.
Anyway, so, wow, a lot happened in this episode. In the next episode, we are going to continue with the main story, where apparently Simon is going to gather to announce his abdication. So, I think that this story is already getting real, but it was interesting to see Dragan's response to my skepticism, saying that I might see things clearer than most, but it still seems like he's on the idea that this is going to be something that is going to be a great achievement for their nation, which I can't disagree either. Well, I will see you guys in the next episode where we continue the plot once again and see how much it will thicken. This was Skymer, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, guys!